Hello, radiant beings. It's Stephanie, and welcome to the Incoming Radiant Wellness podcast here on YouTube. Before we dive into today's episode on mapping your alignment, Gemini would like to remind you that our foundational course, Align, our 5-week intuitive movement course and journey, begins October 19th. Doors open on October 13th, so come on into the community. It's absolutely free to join. theincoming.co, that's C-O, to get comfy with the space and to learn a bit more about this self-paced journey towards alignment and how it can help you clear the path toward a rich and delicious relationship with your body, your energy, and the tools to bring you back to center along the way. Check out the description to learn more and click all the links. And now, here's today's episode. Welcome back, radiant beings, to another episode of the Incoming Radiant Wellness. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Jem.
And we are the Incoming, if you haven't heard by now. And today is a very aligned conversation. We are speaking on alignment. What is it? Why is it important? How can you really feel into it? And I would love to start us off by offering a kind of sacred name or a homonym, really, alignment. If there were a alignment just for you out there, what would it look like? What would it feel like? Who would you run into? Would it be more in the city, on the roads? Would there be lots of dead ends that lead to magical experiences? Would there be a lot of turnarounds? Would it be in the forest? What would it look like? So we could even take a moment. You can close your eyes. If you didn't take that breath with us, this is your chance to do that. If there were alignment for you, what would it look like? And just let's take a moment to feel into that, even collectively. And for me, the first word actually that comes up is love. And it's because I've been more and more aligning with that vibration, self-love, valuing, love of my child, partner, this life. And when I think of the line meant for me, I just looked out the window here. I am in a village in La Campagne in France called Sauce la Campagne. It's less than 500 people. And if I were told, if my future self told my 20-something self, Stephanie, in a couple decades, you're going to find solace and this beautiful spiritual journey in the country in France with like nobody around, not your friends, not your family. And you're going to love to look at your pumpkin flowers every day and talk to the corn. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm a dancer. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Blah, blah, blah. I had all these ideas. So, so now that I am here, oh, and another thing would be, and you're going to love to be in the kitchen and kind of be a homemaker. And also you're going to have 2 businesses and you're going to call in and she's going to call you into your beautiful goddess friend. And you're also going to be these goddesses together and start this movement. I'm like, oh my God, what? It's like so many things. And so, and if I had seen that, I wouldn't have believed it. I definitely would have been like, well, how does that happen? And maybe even try to figure it out. And so that line meant for you is really this practice. And we do mention this quite often of stillness, because in stillness, the path opens up for you like a flower, like these stunning pumpkin flowers that really do make my world. Like I talk to them. Justin Tilou, mon fils, we look at them every morning. We also find the little fruits that are happening. Today there was this bumblebee that was, I think it was drunk. I think she was drunk on the pollen. it's just incredible. And again, if my 20 something self imagined that it wasn't even in her, it wasn't even in her path. And every step along the way, my performance career, the friends that I've met, the conversations I've had, places that I've worked, places that I've lived, my connection to my family or disconnection, every one of those experiences was the step by step by step by step by step that led me to this moment with this beautiful person here, with Jem, for this expression of alignment. And how do I know that it is where I'm supposed to be? Well, number one, I get lots of reflections, especially from I have some online clients back in California. And almost weekly, I get from one of my #amazing clients, when I talk about, she loves to hear what's going on with my son, what we've done today. And when she hears it, she's like, "Oh, Stephanie, you are absolutely where you should be." So it's literally broadcast toward me through this partnership, through this alignment, inlinement, alignment, and also the way that I feel. Yes, right before we got on here, I had some big emotions because they needed to move through. Just because I had that emotion doesn't mean I'm out of alignment. It's because, and again, we talk about this a lot here too, this recalibration. So I know I have done a lot. I haven't done all the work, but I have done a lot of work to excavate the subterranean levels of my deep core, physically, energetically, emotionally, to clear the space for that path to open up, so that there is a trust that now I know with a capital K. Yes, my client, my friend is telling me what I already know. That is the reflection. Yes, I am where I need to be in this moment. Now, in a few moments, in a few months, in several years, it's going to be different because we are here to evolve. And that path opening up, it never stops opening up. It just gets easier to see. The more you recalibrate to your source, the more you recalibrate to your center, the more you are in alignment. And I'm going to make that figure eight again. The more you are in alignment with your source, the more that path opens up to you. That allowance of being led, of following, and that trust that anchors you in.
Yeah, initially when you were saying alignment, what is the alignment for you? I saw a spiral because I also think that we're all participating in the spiral. And for some, it may look like circles for a time until you develop an awareness to get another perspective. And that might take some time. You might be just in the unconscious making this, I like to say it like a record, playing the song, like you're on the same song until you can regroove to another path and then catch another tune on the record and then become the full album. And then you can become the other side. So there's all this play in the awareness when you come into alignment. And also what you were saying about, even if I'm in a state where it doesn't feel very aligned because I'm frustrated or I'm angry or I'm sad, I would consider that a time that you're recalibrating into the line of love, right? Because in the existence of all of us, in the center of all of us is love. Like, I do believe we come from that place to exude out, and then we're starting to work through our own evolutions of what we're here to do, each one of us different, but all of us here to love, right? So there's universal templates for all of us, and then there's the karma, the dharma, and where we're operating from. I always think about it as similar to balance. How do I know that I'm balanced? Well, I have to unbalance to find balance, right? It's a delicate line. So sometimes I can feel that I'm out of an alignment. It could be in my physical body. I could feel tweaked or crooked, or somewhere in my body is out of alignment. I could feel it in my emotions. They're here, then they're there. They're kind of all over the place. I can feel it in my mental capacity. Am I thinking too much about the future? That's going to create an anxiety, right? So I'm toggling between all of these different bodies, right? I like to talk about the energy of the body. So it's the physical body and then also the subtle fields outside of the body that are all participating in our experience here. So the alignment is to really become the sphere of self, to become the globe, that shape that's going to really broadcast out in all directions and then channel back through and up and around. And we call this the toric field, or here in the incoming, the radiant light bubble, RLB, because it's the place in which we also radiate. And that that part of us, those aspects of us that shine out, is also a part of an aligned person. You can feel it when you're in the presence of somebody that has achieved an alignment. They might have a glow or just an energy that you can feel. Wow, I love to be in the presence of this person because they have that magnetism that they're allowing through their system, the out, and then pulling it back in. So I would say also, in my final thought on that, is that there's many things that can happen in the day to kind of toggle us out of alignment. I don't know that we're all holding alignment 100% of the time. It's a way for us to engage with the line of the body, which is the sacred channel, where the chakras and everything aligns. Also, it will be for the physical body, the alignment in the spine, to be out and then move back in, right? Because we're not still in the way that we don't move, but we can accomplish a stillness. And I love that you brought this through, the stillness of the body, of the mind, of the spirit, to come in to see. Because in that channel, right, the stillness becomes the clarity of the vision of where we can see the directionality, where are we going, where we can make decisions from clarity. If we're not having clarity, I would say, check in on your alignment, right? Because all of these chakra centers and parts of the subtle field and all that we are in this body, all of the makeup that we have, is all giving us the intelligence and the instruction for how to operate in the world and what to shift to make the experience better or more ease, be in flow. These kinds of things all are having to do with the alignment of the body.
And it's beautiful because it sounds like you're really talking about the macro and the micro as well. So we have our individual body and our pelvic spinal pathway, the skeleton, our muscle tissue. There is a particular alignment that we all come in with and that we develop through how we move through the world. And then there's this image of the globe, the radiant light bubble that we talk about, the auric field, the body, mind, spirit is what is more universal to everyone, and even like we've already mentioned, which is the braiding, the alignment of love, that vibration there. So we have the meta, and then we have the micro. And so I love that you intertwined those, because the body, I think of it this way. I think of the body in many ways, and alignment, when I started Pilates I feels like way back in like 2000, it was a lot about alignment and posture, and there's an ideal posture, and you have to move bodies into this ideal posture. And that I have learned by actually incorporating the gyrotonic and gyrokinesis method, by dancing, by feeling my own body. And the gyrotonic and gyrokinesis, if you do not know, is based around the sacred geometry of circles and spirals. It doesn't mean that all of your vertebrae are stacked perfectly, that your hips are aligned. And I remember when I think I was 19, and I was in a bagel shop in Columbia, Maryland, and there was like win a free massage. I was like, great, I'll put my name in there. I won this free massage. And actually, it was a chiropractor. And so, yeah, I got like a 20-minute massage, but what he did, I actually accepted it, was x-rays. And so he x-rayed my neck, and I was like, I'm a gymnast, I'm a Division I, I play lacrosse, like I'm fine. Like I had this idea of like, I'm perfectly aligned. Like I'm going to see a straight line. And my neck kid you not, look like zigzags. And I was like, oh my, what? Like I'm healthy, I have a healthy neck, I have lots of range of motion. Yes, I feel sometimes limitations with sleep and the weight of gravity and being in this world. And that was like a big slap in the face, like, Stephanie, oh, that's what you thought alignment was.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I also love the reflection element of what we're perceiving from people outside of ourselves. It's all information, right? And so it's how do we process that information? What is mine? What is not for me? What is not for me? And how do we understand that the information coming in can help us gauge ourselves into the fine tuning of the spirit, which is also include the body, where we can adjust ourselves into this space of alignment, which I would argue looks more like ease and flow. And when life is just moving in these ways where for many of us, we can have this feeling of what is that, right? It's happened to us in times where we're just so free and sovereign and moving through life. And it was like, yeah, this is an amazing way to conduct, right? And then usually it's not that way. It can be, but usually we're also in the lessons of life and we're jostling around and learning by triggering, getting triggered, moving around others and adjusting with energies. So that is the work also for us to work within the, I'm going to keep calling the RLB, the vibrancy of ourself, of our spirit is the orb. It's not just this vessel. We are a sphere. The energy is out here. Before I even say something, you can get a sense of myself, my energy. As soon as I enter the room, my energy is focused somewhere, right? So there is this energy dynamic that is expressing all of the time. And so in that understanding, we can also be in the relationships with all of these things around us, our partners, our kids, our animals, people outside, people in the grocery store, wherever it is, and gain the information from what's being presented back in the reflection of those people, places, and things to help us as a tool to help us recalibrate and become more aligned in our structure, in our sphere of intelligence, in our way of moving through the world.
And beautiful. And our framework here really is physio-energetic wholeness. So yes, you can have a physical practice, whether you call that exercise or movement, whatever it is, you can just have that. Or you can just have a connection to spirit and intuition. And really where the full alignment, the juiciness of that radiance, that radiant light bubble that you are emitting, that Jem was just saying, is when you fuse the two, and that you have a almost a constant awareness. Okay, my body is the conduit. What am I seeing? I'm laughing because it always comes back to the figure eight for me, and here, and for us. So, okay, I have this practice with my body. I can stop there. I could. We suggest that you don't. We suggest that you, as you were talking, Jen, was also seeing that ease, flow, the wave. You can fight a wave. You're gonna lose. Or you can grab your board and feel the flow of it. I've surfed once in my life. And yeah, you don't have to do anything other than find the correct alignment with the wave. So it really is this physio-energeticness of coming into first the awareness that yes, I have a body and it's going to tell me a lot, and it's going to tell me a lot about my energy. And so embracing yourself really as that physio-energetic being within physio-energetic wholeness is what we do here at the Incoming. So yes, you are physical. You have this beautiful body in order to move through the world, and you are also spirit in human form.
Yeah, I would also argue that they are not they are synonymous, right? Like the body and the spirit, we cannot separate and just be the body, or oh, I'm just going to do for the body. You can just do for the body, but it will affect the energy because it has no choice. They're enmeshed. They're the same, right? They're one and the same, just one we don't see. I think that we're all here with that purpose as well, is to know yourself. So some of us are doing it in this very physical way and going to the gym and understanding that I have these muscles and they do this, they help me lift things, or we're doing it in a meditative state. I'm also doing it through singing in kirtan and understanding the resounding element of what that energy is forecasting and helping me to belong. There's so many ways that we can attain where we are led, right? So the alignment for you is the path that you're going to walk in this way. I would argue that for people having symptoms or indications or things, it's an invitation to work with that component. It's also an information. Okay, I have this thing. This is a way to work in that intelligence and start to have a way, like a focus point of what I'm doing, what am I working with. So we're getting clues in all the time of where we are, what we need to be working on, what's going on, and that's going to come in the reflections of others and the self of the body.
And again, I love that you're bringing it really home to the body, home, heart open, moving energy. That is the body. And the body is very, like you said, it can be very loud. So when you are in pain, you want to get out of pain. When you have an injury, you want that injury to heal. So we're dense, we feel it. So there's that there. So it's really important to actually have a relationship with your body, and that's what movements. That's why I've been actually moving away from the word exercise, because movements moves. We're meant to move. So if you are moving consciously in any way, whether it's a walk, whether it's in class with me, whether it's in front of the mirror with Jem, it it helps you understand your body, your physical body, so that then you can emanate out. And that is part of my purpose here. For me, it is body first, and that is what opened up all these channels and portals to different dimensions, to my subtle bodies, to my intuition. You might come from a different place. You might come from intuition and are being asked to ground into the physical more. And you might be somewhere in between as well. There's a whole spectrum. We're meant to be different. That is why we are all here together in this moment. And it really is this balancing act of physio-energetic wholeness. As long as you have a perspective that, yes, I have this body, and yes, I am energy, wow, that's already a huge point to jump off from.
Yeah, I am one of those people that was in the trapeze, floating, back bends, like really in the air physically. And it took another person, our beloved Tarni,
Mm.
to really identify that I was a person that needed grounding, not to be up in the air and lifted and in this element that feels very natural and fun for me to be. It's like, yeah, I want to be in the circus, right? I want to be flying, I want to be out, but that's where I'm at ease. I'm very at ease out in the ethers, in the cosmos, in the astral. My work is to ground, my work is to be there. So there can be also a difference. It's part of why Stephanie and I come from these two different places and then bring it together so well. And the sanctity of this relationship and this partnership has really offered us both this way to grow and advance, because we're operating with different sides of the pole, right? So we come into partnership and relationship with others that can help us along our journey to reconstruct and to give us the construction of where we're moving with our body intelligence to be able to access more, right? To have the awareness, like Stephanie was just talking about a minute ago. When you're in pain, you're the pain was out here. in the subtle body and was talking, 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 talking. But probably you didn't hear because we're not attuned to those bodies yet for most of us, right? We're not attuned to these other fields. That's the work, is to feel it out here first so that we don't have to feel it in the body, because who wants to be in pain? None of us. It's painful. Pain in full. So by operating through understanding the intelligence of the body and then starting to operate into the energetics, which is what we love to do here, right? Because we want to curb that result from the pain really being here. Sometimes you can be in so much pain that, yeah, all you need to do is kind of tap out and go take a pill or something that can work for you. But it's an information to tell you something about yourself, somewhere to look, somewhat to do, to change, to engage in a different way is usually what is the message. So it's like, okay, well, what do I need to engage in a different way? Maybe it's my food, maybe it's my ingestion choices. It could be visual, it could be hearing. Like, what am I listening to? Am I listening to like death metal, or am I eating like crazy chocolate, or what am I doing, right? So I need to maybe adjust some of my palettes and my choices, because when we have choices, we have the ability to shift those choices. And when we do that, then we're able to see what alignment looks like in a different parameter, right? So we might not know that we're over here like looking around. That's one of the things that I love about the mirror, is because it's going to show you right away where you are, right? It's going to help you. I work on my alignment. I work on my shoulders, my crookedness. Oh, my shoulders are up high. Okay, I need to drop, because it's unconscious. I have tension, so it's creeping up and I don't even know it. And I don't even know it unless maybe somebody would say, hey, what's going on with your neck? Or I see it for myself, and then I work with that, with the body, to adjust, to feel what it feels like when my body is in alignment. Because when I've gone to a chiropractor, they adjust you, and then it's like, what? This is alignment? My body's not used to that position, so it's not going to hold that position. It's going to go to where it was, usually, because that's where the comfort is. It's just like where the groove has been grooved. But we're also here to sing other songs than just with the record, with the one song, right? So we have to figure out, yeah, maybe there's not a comfortability in holding my shoulders down because they're used to being up here, but I need to work with the body to feel into that alignment. What can that offer me? The length of my spine, really pulling my head and chin up, then to be in a, whatever. I'm like using the camera now as my mirror, to be in whatever shape you're gonna be. So I monitor that, and I use the reflectiveness of the mirror to offer me the perspective that I can work with and really feel like I'm thriving.
I love that you referenced so many beautiful threads there. And I love that I was imagining you sitting in front of the mirror, like doing it.
Mhm.
And how powerful is that to, because as a teacher, that's what I do. I reflect. Oh, I'm seeing that this shoulder is higher. Do you feel that? Oh no, it feels normal. That's it. When we're on the reformer, for example, or even adjusting, and they're like, "Oh, I wasn't straight," is the word that comes out, and I, no, it's not straight or crooked. It's just it was a different alignment. And so, and we can and we need to look at ourselves in whatever way you do. Here, Jem offers a really powerful mirror work practice to look at yourself in the mirror and love what you see in all of its asymmetry, misalignment, unbalancedness, whatever it is, wrinkles, whatever it is. To love is to love, and to love yourself is really the basis. And you mentioned also, Jem, how we're always in relationship. And if the relationship, if the foundational relationship with yourself, which is the foundational relationship, is not based on love. You're probably going to see that reflected in partners and friends, in other ways. So you absolutely need to find, and also what we're moving towards in this conversation is also finding your body map. Like Jem said, we offer so many tools. Movement, embodied movement, and mirror work are our two foundational tools, and that together creates this beautiful dialogue, this beautiful figure eight of this physio practice and this energetic practice of tapping into the vibration of love by witnessing yourself in the mirror and through movement as well. And so we also talk about human design here a lot. That is another body map that helps you gain clarity, and even the gene keys. I've actually been recently led to the 16th gene key, and if you're not at all familiar with that out there, it's a beautiful tome, and you can really, it really is a practice of intuitive reading, just reading without really your mind trying to comprehend. Normally when I read, I create notes. Here I just read and then I reread. I've been reading the 16th gene key, I think maybe this is the fourth time I'm doing it, just to allow it in, and why I'm landing there, which is really interesting. And again, if you're not familiar, Richard Rudd is the creator of this beautiful another body map for you. And so there also are three different frequencies. There's the shadow frequency, which once that is unlocked is, or once you're out of that, moves into the gift, and then into the siddhi, SIDDHI, which is really the highest consciousness frequency of each gene. And this one, the 16th, begins with indifference. I thought that was really powerful because we see it. The news is all about horrifying events, and I can't include myself anymore because I do not watch the news, but a lot of us, I have in the past, I've listened, we just watch it pretty passively. And what he was saying in this particular gene key is that it's not our fault. It's a collective, it's a reflection of our collective energy in this moment. We are evolving. And then once you evolve in this particular gene key, it takes enthusiasm, which is led by you finding your purpose. So talk about alignment. And that enthusiasm pulls you out of the indifference and leads into the gift, which is versatility. And he talks about it in a very specific way. Please go read the 16th gene key. It's really powerful. It's also part of this ring of prosperity. Oh my goodness. And essentially why it's coming up, why the referencing, the thread that I'm pulling out is that we are here to align with our purpose, and it's literally in your DNA. So once we can find something, for me, again, I can find a lot of things. My pumpkin flowers, like I said at the beginning, my crochet, my kid, lots of things. And it's taken me a minute because I am in a different situation than I've ever been in my entire life. And I've had no other choice but to move inward, or I've made the choice. I've been giving this opportunity in my body, in my space, to go inward, to expand outward. But once we find that enthusiasm, whatever it is, it will trigger you into more alignment. And it's not that, oh, I'm aligned. I can twiddle my thumbs now, I'm done. It's a constant loving work to then, oh, that feels better. Okay, I'm going to go down this path. And then something more opens up, and it opens up, and it opens up. So we're all here with special gifts, with special masteries, and it's all part of our purpose. And having that body map helps you unlock your purpose. So then it becomes this really loving practice of allowing the path to open up for you, of finding enthusiasm with what you bring to this world, so that then you can reach higher consciousness more and more and more throughout your day. And higher consciousness really is this connection to everything. So whether it's the trees outside, or your neighbor, or your kid, or a piece of clothing that feels really delicious on you, that juiciness fills every moment of your life, and that is where I am striving. And now with this body map, with this beautiful body that we are given and our nervous system, that then we can work with ourselves. And then we become that. We sit in the center of that radiant light bubble and shine outward. And that literally has an exponential effect on everything you come in contact with.
I absolutely love the conversation about maps and the body, right? The body maps or the maps of intelligence, or how do we know? How do we know where we're going? The
Mm.
first thing, if I'm leaving the house and I'm going to go across town for something, I'm going to look at a map so that I know where I'm headed. What is the direction? Where do I need to turn? Where do I need to go? And so these concepts like human design, like astrology, and that's why it's asked for your specific birth time and where were you born, because all of that constructs to create the map of who you are, right? So then utilizing a map feels like so important to do. I would say I would love to see a map so that I'm not blindly going. I feel like for most of my life I was like blindly going and then listening like, where do you think I should go? What do you know, and like it can get very loud out in the world, right? And so how do we know what is ours and what is not? We have to develop the awareness, but for a lot of us we might not have that awareness yet. So maybe we need a map and to see where's my direction, where am I going. I just had a beautiful reading of my natal birth chart from a friend, and I felt like she handed me a key. I have not been handed so many keys in my life, a couple, and the keys are these ones that help us really unlock ourselves. And I'm like, oh my God, now I know what I'm focusing on in this moment, because sometimes it can feel very flustering to feel like I've got a lot. Well, if I have a map, then I can understand. I mean, we talk in the language of human design because it's so powerful. It's based on these templates of astrology and the body mechanics and the I Ching and these ancient practices, and puts them into a language that allows us to understand. It's a really beautiful dynamic when you can start to understand yourself. That's where you get to really be in the driver's seat. For most of us, we're in the passenger seat, like, oh, I hope it's going to change, like the weather or something. It's like, no, well, we're here to do the work of the self. That work implies that you're going to be doing something, right? So you're going to be engaging with yourself. You're with yourself 100% of the time. And so, yeah, my moods are going to be highlighted. My conversations, my feelings, my mental capacity are all going to be highlighted for me to see what I want to do. For most of us, we're unconscious about the alignment that we possess, right? So I would argue that probably most of us are out of alignment. Once you find alignment, it's like, oh my God. It's such a beautiful, juicy portal of like, oh, can it just stay like this? And it's like, yeah, well, I know how to come back, right? It's not always going to stay. I'm going to have, even in my glorious times, right? I'm still going to have things that come to challenge me and to not knock me off my path, but help me understand that this is the right path, or I need to change to this path. And that's fine. I can adjust, right? We're always having choices. But when we don't feel like we have choices, we're out of that point, that central point of the figure eight that Stephanie always brings into the field, right? Because we go out and then we come back in. And then that point is the neutrality point. And then we go out and then we come back in. That point is the check-in, right? It's like, how am I doing? How do I feel today? Okay, let me just take a breath and feel into that, to slow down and get out of the speed that everybody else is going, to tune to myself, to really hone in. You will be with yourself for this entire journey, I promise you.
Mhm.
So the more that you can tune into yourself and become aware with what's going on, the more that you're going to be able to unlock these parts of yourself. It helps me feel like I'm living my purpose. For me, magnetism helps bring people into my world, so I don't have to go and chase and go get them. I don't have the energy for that, right? I don't have even the willingness to do that in this level, because I know myself. I know myself, and I have enough mapping of myself to understand myself in these different ways, so I can take all of these parameters and start to be like, oh, those aren't for me. These are for me, and I can focus now. Ooh, now I can move in a more opportune way to come into my alignment and to be in my flow state, in my purpose, in my alignment.
And I even love that you come into alignment rather than alignment be forced on you or be
Mhm.
or look like anybody else's. The, to come into alignment is that allowance of the flow of your purpose in. It's like the dam, when the dam breaks, whoosh. And it feels like you were saying, Jem, it feels so good. You want to keep returning and returning because there's that stillness, there's that calm, there's that radiance, there's that magnetism. So thank you for that phrase, coming into alignment. Hmm.
Yeah. We have so much to say about alignment. We have a whole course on alignment. So, I mean, it's like
Yes.
so much that we could go into and speak on, but I feel like, yeah, it's related also. I love alignment because it's related to calibration, it's related to refinement, it's related to energy, it's related to the body, right? It's related to all of these parts that we could kind of thread through and bring. And I would just encourage you to notice, to start to reflect, like, do I feel aligned? Well, how is alignment gonna look? We didn't even talk about the chakras, but I know right away when I'm out of alignment, because each chakra is telling us a different story or a different energy that the body is holding. Am I clear? Do I have vision? Am I understanding what's for me, right? These are going to be the higher centers. Am I expressing my truth?
Mm.
If I'm not, I'm probably, there's something going on here, right? My heart, like, am I in my purpose? Do I feel that? Do I feel like I'm really generating from my soul, from my
Mm.
timelines, all of my timelines, right? Solar plexus, am I confident? Am I in my sun, in my capacity to radiate? Do I feel that? Or do I not feel very confident, right? Am I having a lot of self conscious, like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't feel like it. Those kinds of things are going to be there. The sacral also is going to be about my passion. Do I feel passionate right now? Some days I'm like, oh, that's one for me. I'm like, God, where is the, like, wake up and I want to run to my flowers, like that kind of joy is related there, right? Is in the doing, and then the root is in our, do I feel safe? Do I feel
Mm.
secure? Do I feel nourished, right? It's more like the earthly, like, connections, the structure, the build. So all of these components of the body are there to register an answer for you of, what am I feeling? What can I tune into? Oh, what's going on? Now I have a place in the body to locate. The chakras also correspond. It's another body map, right? And so the way that we can start to build and cultivate awareness to the body, start to understand in whichever way. I would suggest a map, right? To have some sort of way to understand yourself that is outside of yourself, or going into these channels. I'm a student of people that are, my type of people are body people, energy people, people that are mapping the body. I'm really loving that in my own way. I can't stop learning. I want to know, what do the knees mean? My left knee hurts. What is that linking to? Because I want to be able to work with my pain and be in a dialogue with that, so that I can not be in that pain, right? And then I can learn something about that, and then I can share with others. So I have a developed idea of where in the body things are residing, like ancestral stuff. Where's that? These kinds of body maps really plug joy into my field, because I'm like, yeah, I love I love a good map. I love to know where I'm going and what's going on and why is that. And the curiosity brings me into that place of satisfaction and that joy state.
Ah, amazing. That feels very aligned. And thank you, everyone out there, for joining us for this conversation. And we will see you or be in conversation with you next time.
Thank you.
Mwah. Bisous.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast. If our vibration resonates with you, subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you would like to join our community, theincoming.co, click the link in the description to gain exclusive access to our weekly classes, monthly offerings, intensives, and courses. Until next time, shine bright, radiant beings.